To win big, you sometimes have to take big risks. Bill Gates. Bill Gates was extraordinarily intelligent and a very curious guy from his childhood. But who knows that this teenage guy went on to change the way we use computers today? Many people only know that Bill Gates is one of the richest people globally. But do you know how he reached there? Let's have a look at his incredible journey, from a college dropout to one of the greatest businessmen of his generation. You are watching Life Story Inc. And this is the biography of Bill Gates. The Prologue. In the early 1970s, using a computer was never this easy. Hardware components of the computer are becoming powerful day by day, but their capabilities could not be utilized efficiently, as coding the software for them was not easy, because decoding and fixing a large-scale problem itself leading to the software crisis. For decades, solving the software crisis was paramount to researchers and companies producing software tools. The cost of owning and maintaining software in the 1980s was twice as expensive as developing the software. In that decade, a boy invented the basic program despite all the problems and all the risks. Later on, he went on to co-found Microsoft Corporation by overcoming the difficulties and becoming a software giant, and that boy was Bill Gates. Bill Gates' childhood and brought up. The full name of Bill Gates is William Henry Gates III. He was born in Washington on October 28, 1955. He is the child of William Henry Gates II, better known as Bill Gates Sr., and Mary Ann Gates, also known as Mary Maxwell. Bill Gates' father is an American attorney, philanthropist, and civic leader. He was born in Bremerton, Washington, and was graduated from the School of Bremerton. Besides his father, Bill Gates' mother was a school teacher, executive, civic activist, and businesswoman. Bill Gates was born in a very supportive family. His parents encouraged him in every step of his life, and so his interests. When his parents got to know about his intelligence, they enrolled Bill Gates in Lakeside Prep School in Seattle, Washington in 1967. Enrolling in this private school was a life-changing decision for him. Bill Gates met the computers for the first time in his Lakeside school. Gates loved it so much that he created a programmers group with his friends in 1968. He created a computer program in his teenage that was a kind of tic-tac-toe version that you can play against a computer. Bill Gates was enrolled in Harvard University in 1973 as he scored unbelievably 1,590 marks out of 1,600 in his early school. Entrepreneurial journey of Bill Gates. Bill Gates examined the problems of the computer industry and decided to solve them all. He was in just 8th grade, where he took his first step towards the computing industry. He wanted the traffic signals to read the data itself. To achieve this dream, Bill Gates joined Dropout Data Company, working on the car wheels and traffic signals in 1972. This savior was not alone. He had his childhood friend in his journey, Paul Allen. Gates and Allen spent a lot of time and money to make the machine read the information through the counters on traffic roadways and assist engineers in making the reports. They performed their best to generate the tapes that read data automatically, but unfortunately, they both were not successful because the machine did not work. Fortunately, Gates and Allen did not regret and sow a new seed from their failure. They both were happy because they learned a lot about microprocessors. After Bill Gates was enrolled in Harvard University in 1973, Paul Allen showed him a magazine, Popular Electronics, in which the MIT's company was going to launch Altair 8800 computer, world's first microcomputer, in January 1975. Gates contacted the MITs because he believed that he could get more future opportunities by providing a computer program. Bill Gates told the company's president that he has a program to incorporate in the Altair 8800. And the president offered him a week to present the proper plan. Allen and Bill Gates were happy, yet stressed because they never created any program and hadn't written any code. After this opportunity, Gates spent all his day and nights on the computer to create a program and spent more time in Harvard computer labs than in the classes. Due to this, Bill Gates was also dropped out of college as he chose law, but spent whole nights on the computer and felt sleepy in the classes. He went for the library's computer to work on the program because now they had lost Harvard's computer. Bill generated the basic programming system within a week after spending diligent days and nights. Then no one knows if the program would run or not. Fortunately, it ran and also was selected by the MITs in 1975. When MIT has selected the program, it called Bill to come to New Mexico and open his company there. There was an issue. His parents did not let Bill Gates leave his studies and go for Mexico. It took almost a year to convince Bill's parents to let him go. In 1976, after the first successful basic program, Bill started to work on software to incorporate it into the microprocessors. At the age of 19, Bill Gates, along with his friend Paul Allen, started Microsoft, named because of microprocessors and softwares. When Gates completed the software, he realized that he doesn't have enough money to publish the software. And then at the start of the 1980s, he spent more and more time on his software to turn it into the simple, valuable work to be paid. In early 1980s, Gates met the CEO of IBM through his mother Mary Gates, who was a renowned corporate woman by then. And IBM asked Gates to develop a software to be incorporated along with its new line of computers. And so Gates created MS-DOS by developing a software he bought for $50,000. When Gates was asked to sell the software to IBM, instead, he licensed the software to IBM. And it was a huge hit, and by the year 1983, 30% of PCs ran MS-DOS. During this time, his friend Paul Allen was diagnosed with Hodgkin disease, and this had a significant impact on Bill's life. Gates constantly challenged ideas which he believes is necessary to stay on the top. So in 1984, Time magazine quoted Bill Gates as the quintessential person of new breed of business. While working as an advisory at Apple, Gates had full access to a new software, Macintosh, but he advised Apple early on to license their software, but Apple didn't listen. Gates ran with the opportunity. In 1986, Microsoft released MS Windows, which resembled a Macintosh. Infuriated, Apple threatened to sue the Gates on the Windows, but in the end, Microsoft overpowered Apple in the courts. After this, Microsoft went public and Bill Gates held 45% of the company, which made him a billionaire at the age 31. But he never rested. Bill Gates gained a reputation as being ruthless, and so many powerful competitors began to emerge against him. IBM launched OS/2, ditching DOS, but Gates released Windows 3.0 upgrade. It meant losing IBM, one of his biggest customers. But OS/2 was a failure, leaving Microsoft a monopoly on OS for personal computer space. In 1994, Bill and Melinda married, and in the same year, his mother died of breast cancer. Bill, who was attached to his mother, was deeply affected by her demise, and he picked up from where his mother left off and started a foundation for philanthropic activities, which he learned from his mother, and so gave $200 million to libraries and schools to buy computers so that everyone can taste the same excitement Bill got as a child. By 1997, Bill Gates found a new challenge in the form of the internet, as he realized he was way behind in the competition, the Netscape browser, and so he introduced the Internet Explorer with every copy of Windows, which crushed the competition. By then, Gates controlled 95% of the personal computer OS market share. He was portrayed as a bully, and an antitrust suit was filed against Microsoft, and it took a toll on Bill Gates. In 2000, Bill Gates stepped down as CEO but continued presently as technology advisor to the CEO. Bill Gates never believed in luck and God's grace. He always believed in hard work, patience, and intelligence. This is all that made him a top-notch leader. He never waited for the right time. He took the time and made it right. The future. Nowadays, Gates is more engaged with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He collaborates with smart and intelligent people to tackle challenges and significant problems because Gates wants to make a better society for the people to live in. We all know that today our home Earth is suffering from the coronavirus, and Bill Gates is struggling very hard to tackle this disease. No one knows when we will be out of this cursed disease, but Bill Gates is investing the amount of money, double the amount government is spending. Gates promised almost 80% of his wealth in charity, along with his long friend Warren Buffett, the legendary investor and one of the top 10 richest persons on the planet, to help the frail kids and generation. Controversies about Bill Gates. In this world, you cannot say indeed that everyone hates you or everyone loves you. Bill Gates is a shining star for some people who spot the best and useful software, but somehow not everyone thinks the same. Many criticized when Bill Gates surprisingly said he didn't think vaccine makers should share their formulas with other countries, citing safety risks, and he made it again to the headlines by divorcing Melinda Gates. What can we learn from Bill Gates' story? Always believe in yourself, If anyone else can do something, then you can do so because nothing is impossible in this world. Not every time you need to invest something new, you can take an incomplete or an existing product and present it more uniquely. You will only reach the top if you are passionate about the work you are doing. Bill Gates never took an interest in law, but he was a champ and computer lover, and he proved it to the world. We should never give up. Instead, we need to learn from our failures. Bill Gates said once, "It's fine to celebrate success, but it's more important to heed the lessons of failure." Failure is also crucial in earlier life because it gives you the chance to look at what you have done. It lets you avoid repeating the same mistakes in future. He dropped out of university to achieve his biggest dream. If you need to leave something good in your life to achieve something more remarkable, then leave it. If you have a plan that doesn't let you sleep at night and cannot stop thinking about it, take a step towards it and take a lesson from Bill Gates. What is the idea that's making you sleepless at night? Mention in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a like and share it with your fellow entrepreneurs. Subscribe to the channel for more content on entrepreneurs and their life stories. Watch the incredible life stories of other entrepreneurs by clicking the links below.